Howdy y'all, Refit here, back for another episode of this RogueTech playthrough. Continuing with the theme of more highly edited episodes here, you can see that the map has changed a little bit since last we spoke. The new season's in full swing and we've got all kinds of opportunities. I'm going to jump into the first mission here with Battle in the Tundra. Reasonable salvage, not the greatest, only against the planetary government. And we'll be popping in a new pilot to take place of our unfortunate pilot that was headshotted in the last mission. So I'm going to run through these and fast forward for the most part. I think that's probably the best compromise between showing all the combat full run and doing pure outtakes. Thought it through quite a bit. I think this is a reasonable thing. Then I'll slow it down when the action's pretty good. Here we're beating up on a lone Kodiak. Seems to be the entire lance for the first section of this. Lots and lots of long-range engagement here to get this guy knocked down. Our Gauss build is going quite well. We've got several mechs now that are excellent in this engagement range. We've got the Roughneck, the Timberwolf, the Warhammer. All of those have loadouts that are very, very good in this sort of engagement range. But it's always good to watch a nice rack attack finish off a Care Bear. Then on to pushing on the objective, we'll get another drop in. This second drop included a Gausszilla, a Timberwolf, an Atlas, and a Crab. Really not much that I'm actually looking to salvage. Yeah, here's the advantage of these Nidhogg's jumping in behind the enemies. As Nidhogg's are able to work their way in and get a lot of good back shots, really helps bring things down in a hurry. Overall, these are some pretty well built mechs of a pretty decent tonnage, and we take care of them fairly easily. Some part of that is backstriking and stuff. Overall, our mechs are performing quite well, I think. These loadouts are fine. I don't think I will change them unless I'm forced to. I will probably drop some more vehicles in favor of Nidhogg's, or if I need the tonnage for better mechs as I get them, I may drop vehicles entirely. Atlas getting beat up on the backside by the Nidhogg as well. This was prior to the update that changed it so vehicles actually would die. Of course, being a little bit more daring with them here. Can't help it. This little catapult, though, punches way above its weight. Beautiful. And another back strike on that Atlas with the Nidhogg. I almost lost this Timberwolf here as far as its footing. It just about got knocked down. But we were able to avoid that. Summoner able to take out the final back strike on that Atlas to bring him down. Quite a powerful build for that type of back striking thing. Almost got enough speed to do it reliably. Does pack a nice weight a way to punch whenever everything hits. And just working on the lone annihilator Gausszilla here, and yet another back strike bringing him down. Yeah, all in all, pretty decent battle. No money, but quite a low damage bill as well. Lots of good salvage on the board. Have some annihilator parts, a full annihilator for that matter. Atlas part, some Timberwolf parts. We've got plenty of Timberwolves floating around, it seems. But what caught my eye here was the Clan Gauss rifle kit that came off of that Annihilator. DNI cockpit as well. That's always nice. Enhanced imaging cockpit. Lots and lots and lots of stuff there. Some pretty good kit on the board from all these. Vibro claws out of the Care Bear, of course. But in the end, I chose to go with the Gauss rifles. I debated this Gausszilla. And overall, it becomes... It's kind of locked into a theme that I like, but I've already got several mechs that kind of fit that, so... I don't know. But the double Gauss bins and all these Gauss rifles just seem to be too big a draw for me. at least at the present time. And by luck, I got 3 pieces of the Annihilator anyway, which is a long way towards building it. Whenever you're in this kind of class, they seem to pop up quite often. We did get some heat sinking equipment, which was good. Overall, a good set of random drops as well with the enhanced imaging cockpit and other things as well. Yeah, I'm well away from my faction, so I couldn't make any influence on the planet. Do a good bit of scrapping here to get rid of all this extra carry weight and to make it financially viable to make the move that we got to make across the way. This is a little look at the Emperor build. I debated strongly changing out its weapon systems, but at this point I didn't actually have that much to change it out for. I could have built it for a Gauss, but instead I just put some head components in, take advantage of this little travel time. Look at some more builds as well. Swapping out the fire control, as was called out in one comment on the previous video. Go ahead and put in the Gauss fire control on the Timberwolf. It's already got a nice Gauss build going for it. Looked at the Stone Rhino build as well. You have this railgun. The VSPL twins are never going to be in range very often, so I might as well just have the single one. And then I'll use that weight savings to add a bunch of recoil reduction onto the mech. Went ahead and swapped out fire controls as well. I hadn't done that in the original build. Put in a Mark II fire control with a nice recoil battle computer. Also time to do some pilot upgrading. Went ahead and reconfigured Aslang to take over the Stone Rhino. It's just in time for our next mission, which is a nice defend base mission where the range of that Stone Rhino could come in really handy. Getting everybody reconfigured around, putting the right mechs, dropping the Cloudbuster out of the rotation just due to lack of pilots. Do a little bit of a split up drop here. You never know which way the enemy may come from on the defend base mission. Enemy's Vanguard wasn't particularly powerful, but they did have heat weapons, which really, on this map, has some effect on some of our builds. We've got a Cyclops, an Orion, a Victor, and an Atlas in the van, plus a support lance of a Fulcrum, Cascatel, Chaparral, and a heavy carrier. There's somewhat of a mixed mode fight going on, where I had frontline troops that were up in nice close quarters to the Vanguard, while I was bringing up other mechs from farther back. In the end it worked out, but perhaps closer grouping would be better at times. Kind of hard to know because, like I said, it's hard to tell exactly where everything's going to come from on these maps. So let's take a look at this Stone Rhino build. It has fairly decent movement range considering how heavy it is and lightly engined. Here, pulling off a nice shot against that Cascatel in its first action. I think that build's going to work out. The one thing I do kind of see now is that the medium range missiles are very rarely going to be in enough range to actually matter. So I'm probably going to consider taking those out, replacing them with something a little longer ranged. In the background here you can see us wiping the board, their Vanguard. Alright, little catapult putting the finishing touches on this Orion. That's such a wonderful little build. I don't know if there's much I can do to improve upon it. So we're down to just the Atlas left to go down here from the Vanguard that's particularly dangerous. We've get around behind him, get some openings going, and eventually we're able to get both the Summoner and the Catapult in behind him and open up his back and kill him. And Nidhogg actually takes the final shots there. And then it's time for the enemy's reinforcements to drop. They bring in a Galahad, a Helopolis, a Marauder, a Vulture, a Black Knight, and another mech that remains hidden for quite a while. These guys are a lot rougher than the Vanguard and Support Lance. Mostly I'm trying to concentrate on not dying. I wasn't particularly sure what a Galahad was, as far as whether it was worth salvaging or not. But I knew there was a couple of mechs on here that wouldn't be bad salvage. the modder especially. Here we'll take another look at a turn from a stone rhino. Okay. Pretty decent movement, just 2, but it does brace after each move. It's going to take on this Galahad. Decent enough hit chance for this range. Pilot, of course, can still be improved, but it makes the hit center torso. Doesn't take very many of those to make a difference. With Roughneck and a couple of others still too far behind to do much in this battle. But Warhammer can reach out there, burning the last of its caseless. Timberwolf, of course, with Gauss, is able to follow up pretty nicely at these ranges, as well as our Artemis 4 system. The Salvage Wolf, he moves up here to on top of the hill to get a look at the Juggernaut that was hiding out in the back as well. That move was not necessarily the brightest idea. Didn't think about what that Omega could do to it. Another look at the Stone Rhino's hit chances. Trying to sort out exactly what our range would be with the short range option. Trying to shoot that Atlas down. Did get a good leg hit on him. Warhammer's able to rack it up. It's always nice. So there's pretty much no way we can kill all these targets. It's almost a guarantee that we can't do that. So I was trying to focus on taking down the ones that were hitting me the most. A couple different ways you could deal with this, but I'm not trying to make much salvage here, just trying to kill it. Sending in our Nidhogg's pretty aggressively still, since they can't be killed at the moment. And there, our Salvage Wolf takes some payback. Loses the heavy Gauss rifle, everything on that right side of the mech. Yeah, 2 medium X pulses. Not the biggest loss, but it all mounts up. Here, taking the railgun, trying to core him. Knock the torso off instead. I also discovered that the Stone Rhino has the Ace Pilot ability. It's really handy. And we struggle out the rest of this this map. It's got a couple more turns each. Pretty much just a big slugfest to see who can kill who. Rack machine doing a lot of work for us. The loss of that Salvage Wolf in its configuration I like there kind of forces me into thinking about adding pulling out one of the mechs from storage. So that's what I eventually do. Pull off the Marauder, and it can kind of take the place of the Salvage Wolf. I'll rebuild the Salvage Wolf as well. Consider it's not expensive to do so. Build something else on it. The little catapult finally finishing off the Juggernaut as well. That's quite a number of kills for that mech this mission. Still got this one round to remain. Cleared up the left side now pretty good. Moving on to finish up the right, but we run out of time before we can get anything done. Railgun doing some good work. And we run out the timer here, waiting on the enemy getting saved by the bell. We made it back a little bit of money, but not near enough to cover these heavy damages. That Salvage Wolf is toast. Got a great deal of mech parts on the board. I think there's better part of an Atlas, 3 chunks of a Black Knight in one pile. Not a full Omega, but 3 parts of an Omega. 4 parts of an Orion in one pile. Got a lot of full Victor parts kit. So yeah, there's lots of mechs. I throw these Omega parts in the basket just for a moment, but when I look at the BFG 9000, trying to compare it to a railgun from memory, which is not a real good idea because I can't remember what everything does. But yeah, I had to do a side by side there in the mech bay. We have lots of other parts, but nothing really outstanding here. There's some good parts in amongst a lot of trash. There's a DNI cockpit, always kind of handy. I take a look at it. When you're recording these videos, you forget exactly how you wanted everything to look as you recorded them, of course. So I forgot my idea of scrolling through first before I went and picked out with the stuff. Rattleheaded. Yeah, there's lots of good things like that turret mount that always can be useful. Ended up taking some heat sinking because I still struggle with that. I don't have much of that stuff still. So taking that opens up some more build options. And I knew I would be building some mechs here since that one got wrecked. Get a whole pile of mech parts. Got 4 parts to an Orion. Some stuff that can go, of course, among all that junk that was out there. Some of it decently valuable. I'm out of the world of AC-20s at this point. And there we go. Heavy repair bill, of course. We knew that would be coming. We'll go ahead and switch over and stop that repairs on that Salvage Wolf. We'll kind of do those at our discretion as opposed to right now. Not necessarily a priority. I'll go ahead and ready the Marauder. Take a look at the Salvage Wolf. And set it aside. Yeah, so we refitted up. I think I chose to go with a full Gauss build on it as a backup mech. Not a real fancy build or anything, but just something to have on hand to use should another mech go down or need extra time to repair or what have you. Wound up with a full laser kit going. Yeah, 4 medium lasers and a pair of Clan Gauss rifles. Pretty good build, I think. Now for the Marauder build, put a 400 core in it initially, just to kind of see what that does for our weight, and kills it. So that's not particularly viable. It'd be nice for it to be that fast, but there's no need for it to be that fast, depending on the type of armament we give it. And XLs and light engines, that's just way too expensive for the moment. It's kind of a late game, perk as opposed to a mid game viable strategy. Unless you happen to build the mech and it comes with it, you're not going to be doing that very often. It's just too expensive. So yeah, I decided to scale down the core. And I looked at laser weaponry. There's some good options there. But in the end, I think I went with the sniper build. It's sniper artillery with some lasers. It's not the craziest build ever. It's probably not the best build ever, but it's quite usable, I believe. Took a good long look at all the electronic warfare options and kind of build an ad hoc warfare kit with all the individual units as opposed to a single built unit, since I don't have one. Yeah, trying to balance the weapons loadout for heat management. I decided to go with a large pulse laser, as along with a pair of ER larges. I'm not sure yet how this will play out, but it'll be a starting build. Laser weaponry mostly a backup to the fact that it's going to be a sniper platform. Here I come in to adjust the Stone Rhino build. Go ahead and strip the MRMs off of it. Look at standard LRM 20s. Also looking at possibility of some Thunderbolt packs or something like that. But in the end, I decided to go with some LRM streaks. I've had them lying around forever. We'll jump into the next battle. It's going to be a battle in the lowlands versus the Capellans. We'll be running the Salvage Wolf with its new Twin Clan Gauss rifles. Facing the initial drop of a Jingao, an Emperor, Ho heavy tank, and a catapult. Overall, this battle is mostly a long-range engagement. It's not a great deal of exciting outtakes to be had. Pretty much run right over them. Took a few turns to do it, and that was mostly because of the long-range engagement. Also, this battle is the first one whenever I had patched up to the point where vehicles were actually vulnerable to permadeath. Overall, the new build on the Salvage Wolf performed pretty well. Didn't get range enough on the new build on the Stone Rhino to tell whether the change in weapons there was very useful or not. With these long-range combats like this, it's a lot of back and forth, not a lot to narrate, so I'm going to speed it up even more than a normal 5x. Jump up to 10 for a second here. I'm still very much working out exactly how I want to edit these videos up. Some things that have pushed me towards doing a different format are changing, but some of the other things are still going to remain, so I'll probably likely keep doing something. Getting in the second drop now. That second drop included a Hunchback, a Martyr 2, Stormwolf, and a Raptor 3. The position they dropped into helped diversify our range of engagement so that I could split up my forces by better engagement range. Helped clear things out a little bit quicker. Pressure of yet another drop made me push my VTOLs out further to try to take care of the enemy before time ran out and an extra launch spawned. Unfortunately, I wasn't quite quick enough with taking them down, and I had to deal with yet another drop. At least it was only vehicles and VTOLs. Overall, not too bad on our damage. Got a decent loot table, lots of mech parts involved, lots of vehicle parts as well. Regular loot's meh, few things that are worthwhile, but nothing overly special. Some little bit of ammo options. I think I took the doubles just because I have 2 UAC 10s still lying around. I don't know if I ever filled them or not, but it's nice to have the ammo options. I think I've decided, yeah, I took the demolisher parts here just for the money. There may have been a better option on the board, but that's what I grabbed for some reason. And yeah, on to the races. Cheap repair bill. And got my loot boxes for being allied at the start of the campaign. Got a another Timberwolf as well as a bunch of bolt-on stuff. Went in, immediately built some stuff and scrapped a bunch more stuff. Yeah, lots of scrap. Make some money. Didn't get much out of the Hunchback, but it's worth building for some LRMs and the like. Yeah, now I got to make a decision on what I'm going to do with these new mechs I've picked up. They're all both heavy mechs, Sunspider and a Timberwolf. I don't know if I actually use them or not. The Sunspider did come with another light Ultra Gauss rifle, so that may show up on one of the builds for the Gauss builds I've got running already. I have to make some more decisions. There's quite a bit involved in picking out which of the heavy mechs I would want. I did look at a few options on this Timberwolf for builds, but I don't think that it offers anything more than what I've already got on other mechs. That's going to do it for this episode. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.